All right, James. How's it going, man?
What's up? I'm doing great, man. It is great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is the first episode of my podcast that I'm filming at the school at Crass.
It's so sick. It's really awesome to be here. I've heard so much about the school, and I was considering coming here for a while and couldn't make it work at the time. So it's surreal being here. It's amazing. I'm jealous you guys get to
And
do what you do.
it's worth
here.
saving up for. I mean, you get a lot of different aspects of audio. You know, you get like right now we're in broadcast, so we're learning about like, you know, NFL games and NASCAR races and stuff like that. So it's like the stuff that goes into those productions is insane.
I'll bet. Yeah,
Hundreds
absolutely.
of people like switching stuff all at the same time. It's nuts.
It's crazy. Is it? I'm sure that you can like kind of focus, like have a focus, right? Like some area that you like want.
Oh, they just throw everybody through the same pipeline.
Oh, so it's
everybody learns everything.
That's sick though. That's
so
good.
that way they're pushing out interns that are all the same.
That's
like,
good.
All their interns are exactly the same. Like, so it's like, you know, more or less people know what they're getting if they get a Crass intern.
That's cool.
You know, it helps you like score a job at the end, you know.
Dude, I understand that. I've been trying to make the some kind of a switch, or maybe not a switch, but just also get into gaming audio recently, and it is a rough field. You gotta like know people, and mainly like they have to kind of know you, I guess. So
yeah,
I could see how going here would like give you a leg up. You know?
There's a course for that here.
Yeah,
they teach you Wise.
Audio. Oh, that's so
like we just ran through a whole course on Wise, and we just made a remake of Quake. And like replaced all the sounds with whatever.
That sounds so sick.
I was really considering like totally messing with my project and just putting fart noises for my
for Quake.
So
you shoot someone.
They're all running through doing all this intense shit, and then like
the running sounds like a squishy wet sound.
That'd
That's
be great.
Yeah,
But,
do some Foley sound design or something for it.
So
cool.
you're a DJ.
Yeah.
So what would you consider your genre?
The specific subgenre is raw hardstyle, but the encompassing genre is hardstyle or hard dance. It's very popular in Europe, specifically the Netherlands and like Belgium. Like I heard it in a McDonald's when I was over there, which is weird because it's like fast, distorted dance music. It's basically like the metal of dance music.
Yeah. That's why I like it. I love hardcore, dude.
Oh, dude,
I'm
hardcore.
so into it. Hardcore, Frenchcore,
Frenchcore, yeah,
all the
faster
melodic stuff.
Right? Oh, it's
I love
amazing.
it.
Yeah.
You heard it in McDonald's though. That's
in McDonald's. Yeah, I heard a Rand D track. Yeah. Hardcore, for those of you who don't know, is a little bit faster than hardstyle. Well, I mean, if you don't know hardcore, you probably don't know hardstyle. So go check them out. Look that shit up. It's a crazy wild genre, but hardcore is usually around like, well, I guess these days like 200 beats per minute, so it's pretty damn fast, and that's probably about as extreme as it gets, like up tempo and stuff. But
well, I mean, plug yourself. Well, where do they listen to your music?
Oh man, I'm all over the place. I would say Spotify is probably the best place to find anything from me. Yeah, just look up Mrotek, Mrotek. I just came out with a new track last Friday called Unholy Earth. It's a collab with Treachery. It's on Basscon Records.
Nice.
I didn't release much for most of COVID, so it's nice to be back at it. I got a little bank of tracks that'll be coming out soon. So yeah, just got to have a whole bunch of new shit to test for the festival circuit.
So what were you doing during COVID then? Just writing shit?
I was fucking off big time. No, I was still staying busy.
That's all right. Most people are just fucking off.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. No, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. I was building my portfolio for the gaming stuff. I also do a lot of client stuff, so mix downs and masters for people.
That's cool. Just some extra like side money kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. If there's any like ghost producing projects, some of them are a bad idea to take because that's a big investment in time, but some of them are a pretty good idea to take. So some of that stuff. I also did some stuff for the Yamaha School of Music, like the little kids playing piano and stuff, but they can't do their recitals because of COVID. So all their parents like took video of them doing their recitals, and they needed someone to like mix the students together for the class.
Good luck.
Oh, it was gnarly, man.
That sounds rough.
Yeah, I started off with all these videos, and I had to first run them through RX8 and like remove any background noise and stuff, and convert anything, because some of them are in 44.1, some are in 48. So I had to do all the conversions and label everything, and then I had to bring them in and like align the tracks, and some of them were super off, so I had to like find the best way to like highlight these kids
Time
stuff.
stretch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I had to tell the video guy
Just
like
make them play better.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Quantize.
Yeah, hit Q. When in doubt, just hit that Q. Oh man, no, it was good. It took a long time, but it was great. And it's like really fun doing totally different genres of stuff, because then when you get back to like what the genre you're stoked about, it's you're on fire about it. So yeah, it's not bad. And then I also made a couple other tracks of my own in that time. But let me tell you, dude, like not having parties around, it is insane how much that affects you, because like you have to like you draw off the dance floor so much after like a nice show. Playing shows are great, but the best part of it is coming back to the studio and taking that fresh inspiration, because you're just on the dance floor. You saw what was setting it off, and
I imagine it's like a cycle. That energy just feeds back into your writing and just keeps going, because like you're going for that experience and the next version of that experience. So you're just trying to recreate it with a different sort of music. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like kind of what types of kicks or sounds or whatever setting it off. It all like kind of comes back to the drive, because it's dance music, so it's like how are people dancing to it and stuff. And you might play some track that isn't necessarily yours, because DJs do that. Bands do like a cover per set maybe,
right?
But DJs, like, we play each other's stuff all the time, and there's actually like a hierarchy in DJing. Like, oh, this guy played my track, and it like reflects on like well upon you for the rest of the scene. And then like
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and like the tracks you play, like you might play a track from someone smaller and then they're super stoked about it. And like I've actually a lot of my climb has been kind of due to that. Like I do one collab, this artist plays it, and then I land another collab because this artist played it, and then yeah, just kind of like skyrockets from there. So yeah, the parties though, it all is centered around the dance floor. So when you take that away, it gets really weird. It messes me on a couple different levels.
Yeah, you have to start from scratch.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to start over.
I'm sitting there watching like DEF CON videos, like live festival videos, to try to catch some inspiration for the floor. Yeah, it was rough, but it was good. Lots of free time. Developed some skills. Got really into RX-8.
RX-8's cool, man. They taught us all about that. They gave us the whole package, like a whole free trial for it. We've been playing with RX-8, and I use that heavily on this podcast. Like,
it's insane.
Well, I did the first like 3 episodes without it, and like I actually did the first 4, and then the 5th one. Like right before I did the episode, we had a whole bunch of classes on RX-8, and I was like, "What have I been doing, dude?"
All the noise removal.
I went back for episode 5. I went back and just used RX-8 on it, like as much as I needed to, and the quality is night and day. Like,
oh, it's insane.
It's crazy.
I didn't know you could do like stuff in RX-8 with audio at all.
Yeah, just subtract the AC.
Yeah, exactly. Little noise hum. You see it right there on the graph. It's incredible. Oh man. So that was really cool. I did some research and shit, and learned like new plugins, experimenting with some new techniques and stuff. But for like a year and a half, I should have a lot more than 4 tracks in the bank. But I mean, whatever. Everyone was fucked on COVID, so I'll take what I can get.
Well, have you been getting back into shows then? Like, what have you done recently?
Ooh, dude, the shows have been popping off lately.
Anything around here?
Yeah, actually. So the very first show back was like kind of towards the beginning of this year, and there was just like a random desert party. But around like May or so, I played at Endgame. It's like a video game bar in Mesa. And me and my
I've heard
friends,
of that.
Yeah, it's a chill ass spot. You can pay like $5 and like game all night long.
Or they just have like Xboxes set up and stuff. Yeah, I've seen bars like that. There's a few of them around Phoenix.
Yeah, the video game bars are stepping it up. Actually, there's another place called the Grid in Mesa that they're also doing shows like every Wednesday night.
I had my band Arcanaut. We tried to play at the Grid.
Really?
The show was all right. The energy was there, but the stage was so tiny.
Small.
It's so tiny. Yeah. And like Attila's drum set just took up like half the stage. They had to like squeeze in. Our bassist was standing on the floor. He wasn't even on the stage because he's like a 6'7" monster, like tall motherfucker. But
yeah, right.
It was an interesting venue for sure, though. All the video games and stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. It's nice to see, it sucks to see venues close, like Club Red closed the day before, COVID bans lifted. And
right.
So it's nice to see, which is so sad. I love Club Red, but some venues are stepping it up right now, which is great.
Well, there's a hole to be filled here. I mean, a couple venues shut down. There's people that want music, you know, so somebody's gonna open it up and get back at it.
Totally, man. Yeah, people are ready to party. So after that one show at Endgame, me and my friends actually played a Russian hard bass set, so not even my typical genre. It's like stupid, like hood rat. They call it gopnik, like stupid.
I could imagine.
Shit. Yeah, squatting around in like tracksuits and stuff, drinking vodka right from the bottle.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was fun. And then right after that, I played at Academy in LA. That was really sick. That was a fun night. Fun fact, all of the, not all, but the vast majority of international artists, their visas have lapsed for America. So there's a huge hole to be filled that, you know, Europeans, because it's huge there, I mainly say Europeans, but really everyone, the rest of the world can't really fill. So for these shows, there's a whole bunch of domestic talent stepping up, and yeah,
cool.
so I'm getting booked a shitload, which is really nice.
Well, hopefully America can make a scene in that world. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. It kind of disappoints me that it's not more popular over here.
Yeah,
I hear
for
about
real.
it being popular in like Europe and stuff, but it's like, damn, there's so many people that are like into metal that would love this genre.
Totally.
Like the two genres are like so close to each other. I hear
Right.
mixes all the time where it's like a hardcore song and then they like all of a sudden you hear a metal riff that you've heard
Yeah,
before. You're
right.
like, whoa, where's that from? Is that Black Dahlia or
Yeah.
like
Dude, I love it. Yeah, using all the metal vocals. I
it's
love
just so
like,
close.
I know, for real. The aggression. I hear all the time people listen to my shit in the gym, which is like metal's amazing in the gym
yeah.
too. So, but yeah, other shows. Yeah, Academy. I played in Houston a couple of times. I just played at Beyond Wonderland in California a couple weeks ago. That was
That's
really
a big
sick.
one though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. There was like 80,000 people there.
I think I saw a video on that.
Yeah.
Like that looked nuts.
It was sick, yeah. Oh, the big festivals feel so good to be back. And then September is actually my month off, which is great. We're recording this September 20th, by the way.
Nice.
So that's super nice. A little bit of time off, but at the end of October, we got EDC Las Vegas. The week after that, I'm playing at Escape, and then hopping on a plane right after my set and going to play Freaky Deaky in Texas, which will be sick. I think that's one of Texas's bigger EDM shows. Then we got EDC Orlando, and then a couple like club shows.
That's
in,
awesome, dude.
December.
How do you get booked for all these things?
I have an agency that I'm on, Corson Agency. They're a really good agency for like international hard dance talent coming here. They also do a shitload of like
They're like really
dubstep stuff.
specific. Like
Yeah, for like all the hard dance people playing here, they usually go through Corson Agency. And my good friend Chase is like second in charge there, so he's like my agent. Usually people who want to throw a show, they'll hit him up, be like, "What artists do you have for us?" And then he'll recommend, you know, whichever ones might be a good fit for him. So yeah, it's going really well. Super busy, and it's all I could ask for. I've been dying for shows to come back and people are ready to party, so it's working out.
yeah, man, I can't imagine being on one of those stages with like people packed. Like, what's the craziest experience? Like, is there anyone that stands out?
There's one so far that stands out, and that was Escape from Psycho Circus 2018. And it was in a mega structure, I think is what they called it.
Mega structure?
Yeah, it was this massive structure. I'll show
It
you
was
some
like a
pictures.
stage?
Yeah, giant stage. It was an outdoor stage, and there was probably like 15,000 people there, something like that, just packed. And it is a trip, like looking out there and seeing a sea of people, and you can't really focus on that for too long. Like if you look out there, it's like
Just
holy
get hypnotized.
shit. Yeah, you get hit exactly. And the thought that came in my head was like, I don't think I can worry about all of that. Like, there's too much to worry about out there. I
Look
can't
down,
even start.
look down.
Yep, I looked down at the decks, and it's like I can control that, so I'm gonna just focus on that. And it was a great time. That was an amazing set, and there's a whole bunch that stood out, but that one was definitely the biggest. Beyond was really sick. I'm really looking forward to EDC Las Vegas. Most of the massive shows I play are Insomniac shows. So yeah, they throw amazing shows. They take care of their artists, and it's an amazing time. It's awesome seeing so many people absolutely losing their shit over the heavy stuff, because a lot of people on that stage, they'll play we'll just say like not as extreme as I do. I like pushing it. Actually, for the 2-day festivals, they usually split it. So the first day or whatever, one of the days is a hard dance day with BassCon, and then the next day is they turn that stage into a bass rush stage. So it's a dubstep stage the second day. But that whole like first hard dance day, Yeah, besides the hardcore guys, I usually push the envelope pretty hard, and it gets me in trouble sometimes. But I don't care. I do it anyway.
How so?
It's like kind of hard to book sometimes.
You mean like pushing the genre limits?
Yeah,
Like,
because I love infusing different genres with shit, and I love metal so much. So, like, for example, at Beyond, wanted to test out some of my new tracks, and one of them is called Seance, and I wanted it to be like sandpaper to the face, like super like abrasive in a pleasing way, but like push it as far as you can, basically. And it's like super dark and has like samples from The Exorcist and shit. And right when I like mix into it, I see like these go-go dancers on stilts come out like on the stage to like dance, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, girls, you're gonna have to dance to this brutal ass track.
good luck.
Yeah, exactly. They pulled it off. They're pros, but like, ooh.
That's crazy,
it's
man.
Fun. Yeah. Another time it got me in trouble. One time I made an edit of one of my popular tracks, Substance Abuse, and I cut out some of the break, and I put in a breakdown from the Faceless and Autopsy.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, so like during this metal breakdown, I'm like, open up that fucking pit, you know? And then on the drop, they all went
man.
crazy, and the pit was like, it was pretty sick.
They did open up the pit.
They did. It wasn't like a crazy pit, but it was a pit still. And a couple minutes after that, security guard came up on stage and was like, "Hey, if you start another mosh pit, we're kicking you out." Like, oh shit, sorry guys.
Good way to get kicked out.
Yeah, right. I'll take it. Yeah, no, it's a good time. I love it. There is like some stress, mainly like getting to the show on time, like catching flights on time. There's a lot of like promotion and stuff that goes behind it. It's a lot more than just making tracks and just playing sets. But I love it. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
man. I mean, it's an art form on its own. Just getting it to the stage. Like,
Yeah.
all the planning and shit. It takes so much.
Totally, dude. And if you want to make like a little edit of a track or a DJ tool just for one show, you know, you gotta get that made, get it onto your USBs, make sure everything looks good. And actually, I just started using Rekordbox, which is the software that really, really helps a lot for DJs just managing their music, and you can like lock in the tempos so that you know like exactly how fast it is, and you can put little markers on it and stuff. Anyways, it helps a lot, and I just started using it on like my last show before COVID happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, trying to DJ without that is rough because you're trying to remember like how fast every song you want to play is.
Oh,
And
jeez.
makes-
What is it called?
Rekordbox.
A record box?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a free version, and then you can like pay for the pro version, which is sick because if you're like traveling, you can just have it on your laptop, and it has like 2 decks on there, so you can like do mixes on the fly just to see if tracks work well together. Yeah, if you DJ and you don't use Rekordbox, get on that shit. I needed to slap upside my head to get me to start it, but I'm glad I got
What was it? Something that you were like just avoiding, or like?
Yeah, you know how it is, like, you know, learning new software. It's like, all right, I gotta sit down and like figure this out, and like, you know, what are the pitfalls? What if I get on stage and it doesn't work, you know?
Dude, I know, like, learning a new software. I remember I hit you up so long ago. It was like years ago. I wanted to hit you up to learn how to make some music, you know. But like once you started like telling me like, hey man, just get whatever DAW you're comfortable with, and then I started thinking like, I'm not comfortable with any DAW. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not ready for this. Like, I can't just like, that would be teaching somebody from nothing. It's like, no, I can't do that. Like, this is a bad idea. So I don't know. Eventually I ended up in audio school though.
Yeah.
Here I am at Crass.
Good for you, dude. If you want to do it, like you'll do it, you know?
I don't know if making music is what I really want to do. Like, it's fun. I like doing it. I like making melodies. They play in my head all fucking day long.
yeah.
But you know, I'd rather just help people get where they want to be,
Sick.
and like help them out and help them do what they want to do and make money from doing that.
Nice.
It's kind of like why I jumped on Arcanaut and tried to help them out, and
Sick.
that didn't go very well. I mean, kind of just held stagnant for a long time,
Yeah.
you know. Eventually
good.
one of our members got an opportunity, moved away, but we started up another project, so we're in the process of building it right now. So we
Nice,
got
dude.
a little something coming out. I
Nice,
don't want
I'm
to say
excited
too
to
much
hear.
without consulting anybody.
Yeah, I gotta keep it like on the
Yeah, but
That's sick.
I always have things going nowadays. I don't want to stop.
Yeah, right.
I want to keep going. I like helping people. I like seeing the entertainment industry unfold. Like all the
Exactly.
pieces involved. It's just nuts.
Oh yeah,
It's
there's
like
so
such a
much.
crazy puzzle.
It really is. There's so much that goes into it. It's almost like actors in movies. Like everyone just sees the actors and knows the actors, but like how much goes into a movie on every
Yeah,
level.
they showed us like just the
crazy.
sound side of
Oh,
like
God.
the movies. Like just the sound is nuts. Like
Yeah, I'll
I
bet.
can't imagine how the video goes or
Oh,
like
my
the CGI.
For
Like,
real. Oh my god, engineers
Jesus.
making that shit. But yeah, I mean everyone's got to like start somewhere. And it made me think of my agent. His first kind of go at managing artists was because we didn't get paid for one of our shows here. So he kind of like took us under his wing and was like, "All right, I'll drop some contracts for you guys." And I remember leaving the first show that we played where he was made sure that we were taken care of. And right after our set, walk outside and he's like just leaning up against the wall looking at the contracts, and he like sees that we're right there. Takes a big sniff of the papers and he's like, binding. He's like so stoked about it. But I mean, he started just with that, with just managing like 2 or 3 of us homies of the friends. And then like some agency started that was a total bust, like a total flop. But he was on there trying to be an agent with that. And then because of one thing led to another, he got other opportunities. He moved to Europe for like 6 months and came back from that and got a job at Corson Agency. So he's that's kind of similar for my story too. If you like figure out exactly kind of what you want to do, and not even exactly, like pretty close to what you enjoy in a
Right.
field, and then you just keep going at it, like keep taking action, it will lead somewhere. Absolutely. Like there's no way it can't if you're just obsessed with it and just going after it all the time, making moves left and right. There's no way it won't go somewhere. So
Yeah,
it's exciting, man.
that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this podcast. I mean, I'm just trying to get episode after episode, just try to
That's
keep
good.
going.
Yeah, be consistent.
Kind of hit a block recently just because I've had to move like a couple times in a row. It's been pretty shitty.
Oh, it sucks.
But so scheduling's been tough. But you know, getting back into it. This is episode 6.
Sick.
And eventually I'll have episode 7, hopefully next week.
Nice.
And I'll just try to do them weekly from now on.
Badass. Dude.
Now that I figured out how to do them at the school, should be pretty
this is
easy.
tight. It's so sick being here. The studio that we're in. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a big ass live room just for 2 people talking on microphones.
I know, right? It seems like overkill.
You fit like an entire brass section in here.
Yeah,
like
for real.
it's like 20 mic stands in the corner.
Yeah.
Like,
It sounds amazing in here. Like it sounds like controlled and dead, but not like super dead. It sounds like live room. It's beautiful.
yeah, it was designed. It's a designed sound room. That's what they sound like.
Yeah, it's
nuts.
It's incredible. Yeah, I have not been to this school, and I am stoked to be recording it here. Yeah, thanks again for having me. It's fucking super cool.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, eventually I'll have repeat guests. I'll have you on again.
Right?
I won't be here, but I've only got a few months left here. So
Oh, really?
unless I can convince one of my other friends to go, and I'll just like, hey, get me in. Yeah, book us some time. And I get in and do my podcast. You get your hours and whatever.
That'd be sick. So, like, getting hours, do you have to like do a certain amount of like live studio hours?
Yeah, they have required hours, and it's for like each subject. You got required hours for like music production. Then there's like multimedia technology, which is like surround sound and movies.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
think that's what the acronym is.
Oh, I would love that.
Then they got like audio business, and then they have, well, you can't do hours for audio business, but you know they teach you that. Then there's like live sound. So there's in the back, I'll show you later, but there's like this huge warehouse room in the back, and there's a whole stage on it, and it's just this big ass live room. So they have a whole bunch of consoles that are all on a network, and you get to like play around with like live sound and like
Sick.
mix it as if you were doing a live show.
Yeah.
So like
Oh,
they
that's
give you a
awesome.
whole course and like different consoles for that, and dude, it's nuts. Like
That's so
I'm excited for the live sound mostly though.
Yeah.
I want to do live shows.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's where the most excitement is.
I think so. The electricity's in the air, and like everyone's like united over like what's being played, what's going down, and if it's like kind of up to you to like mix it like live. Super sick. I don't do much like live. Well, I mean, I like DJ live, but that's a different type of mixing. That's not like balancing. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're putting it together like
Yeah.
you know how it's going to sound relatively.
Yeah, I'm playing mastered tracks and just like switching between them basically, but like doing the balancing work like at a show live, like that's so sick.
Like we've done some mixes here at the school, like even in the studio on the console here, we're recording through an API right now. But it like even on these consoles, like mixing and stuff, it's like pretty easy what we've done so far. But we're just working on like rock tracks, you know,
Yeah.
like classic rock or like some cover of a rock song or like some jazz song. And it seems pretty straightforward how to mix it. You're just like, okay, do all this to the drums, do this to the guitars,
Yeah,
put
right.
reverb on the vocals, like whatever. And like I can't even imagine doing a like a hardcore show. Like
Oh
what
yeah.
the fuck are those sound guys doing? Like
For real, yeah. I assume like some limiting, like a bunch of limiting. Yeah, just
at
make sure-
least
yeah, make sure it doesn't blast in the red, blow the whole system apart.
speakers just start exploding one by one.
Exactly.
Boom.
Yeah, that's no good. Oh my god. Yeah, at the grid show the other week, there was like feedback going down like super hard though. Or it was
Oh,
like
no.
it was like a hum or something, like an electrical hum. So whenever the track was quiet, like you could hear it in the background. We're like, what the hell is this? I'm like, it's not my setup. I'm not gonna touch anything. But like I looked around and there was just like a mess of cables right next to the stage, like no order, just totally screwed. And one of my friends walked over to check it out later, and he like stepped on some of the cables, and it like popped and went super loud, and then fixed it. And we're like, oh well, some of the cables must be fucked up. Well, there you go.
The cables are all like the ground is all shorted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he like stepped on this pile of cables and it fixed it. And he's like, well, I don't know which cable that was. So yeah, you guys listening, like, make sure you have nice cable management. It's important.
Yeah, and if you don't, you can just step on them to fix it.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. If you have any sound issues, that'd be nice to do that for a track. You know,
Yeah.
they should make a plugin like instead of sausage fattener, like stabilizer or something, or you just make
Yeah, it
that.
just mimics the pops and clicks when you stomp on cables.
Exactly. Some nice mogamis, just
Gives
shred
pretty
'em.
fucked up sounds.
Yeah, right. You could like use them as like resistance bands for like working out. Just like wrap some cables around you and just try to break them with your legs. No,
I wonder how that sounds.
Probably horrible. Oh, it's fucked up. Oh my god.
It's a good way to waste cables.
Yeah, that makes me sad. My dad is like, he's super weird. My dad messes with like all sorts of random side projects, but he found a place that sells all of the components that are like the same specs as Mogami cables, which are like, really nice cables. And he figured out how to like assemble them himself. So he's like paying like $20 for all these parts for Mogami level cables, and he's just like building them himself. I don't do that. Like the hardware stuff, I don't know how to fucking build.
Yeah, that's a different beast,
Yeah,
man.
no
like
way.
I've thought about it because like I know how to solder. I'm an electrician, I was an electrician in the Navy. So it was like I did 4 years in the Navy being trained as an electrician, and so like I know all of like basic electronics and all the components, and I know how all this shit works and how it fits together and how all the transformers work and the faders and all that shit. I know how it all works to the basic core, but it's like it seems so tedious putting
Yeah,
those
to
things
build it.
together
Oh my
and like soldering like 1,000 little cables. Like, God, I don't know if I'd have the patience to do that. I'd lose
For
it.
real. Yeah, no, that's gnarly. That's crazy you know all that though. I have no idea about any of that stuff. That's
Dude,
cool.
in the beginning of the school, like they run you through basic electronics just so you know how the wires are working and how like the microphones are actually capturing the positive and negative wavelength of like the sound. And so going through all those basic electronic courses, I was like falling asleep. It was like
Like, I got
so easy. Because I went through the Navy as a nuclear electrician. Like I got trained in the beginning. It's like the hardest fucking school they have.
Jesus.
I didn't make it all the way through that. They transferred me to aviation electrician, but the shit I learned in that school was like way beyond anything I'll ever need to know. Like seriously, like like they taught us counting in binary. Like I don't know why. Like there's
like
no
teaching
reason
kids
for that.
cursive these
Yeah,
days
it's like
or
they're just
something.
teaching us every little possible thing like about electronics, and
That's
it's like
sick, though.
at least I know it now, I guess.
Yeah,
It's like a
right.
bunch of I don't know. I don't use a lot of it.
Yeah. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Like
yeah,
something like
exactly.
that.
Shit like that.
That's
Like,
crazy.
Yeah.
My cousin works at Intel, and he like works on like processor design, and
Wow.
yeah, it's super crazy. He's like really smart, but I'm kind of a dumbass except for music. So like that's the one thing I understand.
You got something.
Yeah, I got
something,
one
man.
thing I'm all right at. Yeah. So we all, our conversations are crazy because when we talk about phase, it means one thing to me and it means something totally like different, but like still kind of related to him. So it's like really funny, like comparing like audio physics, I guess, compared to like electrical physics.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it's slightly different. Audio version is like derived from the electrical version.
Yeah, like
Like,
the truths are still the same, but like I'm like, hey, this is what phasing sounds like, and it just blows his mind apart. And he's like, this is like what phasing looks like for electronics. I'm like, what the fuck? I wish I like remembered more of what he said so I could be of use right now. But
it's hard to visualize the sound waves when you're talking about like a phaser effect on like a
yeah,
stereo track. Like, it's hard to imagine the sound waves like not lining up, so they're kind of like offset and going
yeah,
at different times. Like,
exactly, yeah. And then
it's
how
hard to
that sounds.
explain it.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
you have to draw it. You just have to draw
Yeah,
it.
draw it
Like,
out. I'm like drawing sine waves. I'm like, okay, so you can get phasing if you adjust the waveform, or you could also get it by delaying it because of this. And he's like, oh my god. And then he rattles off some, oh, that's the cosine or something. I'm like, cosine? I don't need to know that for music, really. Like,
too much. Too
yeah,
much.
right? Back it off, dude. That's funny.
Just like record him talking about it and like use those samples.
Yeah, that's perfect. Oh,
Sounds
just
like totally crazy. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
make a nerdy
Put it all out
track.
of order.
Oh my god. You have to like decipher it. That'd be a crazy idea for a track. Like make it all out of order, like some Christopher Nolan shit. Or,
Yeah.
like, get to listen to it backwards. That's like some Pink Floyd shit or something.
Yeah, it's weird experimental. So, how'd you get started in music? Like, where do you think you started, anyways?
So I guess it started as a kid. I went to piano lessons in like third grade. I didn't love that, but and I wasn't great at it. But then in like middle school, I saw my dad's. He had a Charvel Jackson electric guitar, like pearl white, and he always like kept it under like a couch, like a pull out couch. And one day I pulled it out, and it just got me off looking at it. I was like, that is so beautiful. Oh my god. So I decided to try to start playing guitar, and then I went for it, and I was obsessed with that. Played way too often throughout high school. I got guitar lessons for a couple years, but it was mainly for like music theory, because I could like teach myself finger exercises and could learn the fretboard myself, but I wanted to know more about theory. So
Like writing and composition stuff.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I went to Todd Kenyon, and he actually gave lessons to the two original guitarists from Job for a Cowboy, which they're a big deathcore band from Glendale. They're doing like big things throughout the rest of the world. But I could like hear his sound in them, which was cool. But at some point, he said to my mom, I think I was like 16, maybe 15 around here. And he was like, hey, we're basically just jamming at this point. Like, he could go out and like start giving lessons if he wanted to. So that's what I did. That was my first job. I was giving guitar lessons and saving my money for a Jackson soloist. It was like $2,000 at the time. Wound up getting it junior year, and
When you were still in high school, giving lessons and shit.
yeah,
That's cool.
exactly. Yeah, it was first job. Then I won best musician in my senior class in high school. Like, I don't know, 450 people. So that was cool. Then I became a fuck ass in the years after high school, and I went to ASU, and that didn't last very long. And long story short, it was a mess. I was a mess, a stupid idiot, like young 20-year-old.
Yeah.
But then I got my shit together, and decided to get into producing, and that actually kind of saved me from the shitty lifestyle that I developed in college. I started taking it all, seriously. I found my DAW. I was messing around in like Fruity Loops and Logic for a little bit, and then when I found Cubase, it kind of clicked a little bit. So that's my DAW. I think the best DAW is whichever one whichever one you're comfortable with. So then I started like teaching myself like genre specific techniques, like how to make kicks and stuff. And there was probably like a 4-year period where I was just learning, experimenting, just obsessed with it, could not stop. At work, I was just thinking about like different ways to route reverb and like all this shit. Then that kind of developed. I got on my first label. I think it was like 2015, maybe 14. It was some like really small Italian label called DJs United, and that kind of started ramping things up. I had like 2 releases, then I did a collab with someone on that label, and then that got the attention of like a bigger artist, and then that kind of like snowballed, and then I did releases on an Australian label called Spoontech, on a British label called Gearbox. And then I got signed to actually right before I got signed, I won a DJ or a remix contest. was like 400 something people in the contest, and we did it in like 5 days. It was like super last minute. Me and this guy collabed, and I did not think we'd have enough time. He's like, yeah, we got this. I'm like, whatever, dude. No way we got this.
Nice.
But yeah, we busted it out, got first place, and I think that said enough to Dirty Works, which is the label that eventually signed me, and they're like top 3 in the genre. I would say they have been for the last like 15 years, and that was a big deal because as far as Americans go, there was one other American that was signed to like a top tier label at the time. His name was Silence. He doesn't do much anymore, but yeah, besides that, it was me, and definitely no one doing like the raw, extra hard stuff. So that was a huge opportunity, and I was with them for like 3 years. That, you know, got me a whole bunch of shows, a bunch of bookings, and a bunch of other collabs. Like I was saying about the when someone plays a track, there's kind of like a hierarchy, like yeah, like where you're at. The labels that you release on definitely are a part of that too. So that was a big deal. And then I left Dirty Works like 2 years ago because I made them like 2 new tracks. And one of them was called Vile, and I like sampled Ted Bundy, and like I had like a scene of like a chick getting murdered in it, and like
Jeez.
it was like super extreme. And they were like, "Yeah, this is way too much for us," and I'm like, "Yeah, fair enough." So we kind of like went our separate ways. But now I'm kind of freelancing around, releasing wherever I think the music would fit. My agent kind of helps me with that, just so it's one less thing I have to worry about. But yeah, the label doesn't matter as much. The music really matters. So if it's good, people hear it, people listen to it. And
yeah, that always weirds me out when I hear things like that. Like a label is like, no, you can't. Like,
no, can't do that.
It's like, but people like it.
Yeah.
Like if people like it and people want to hear, Mrotek, like, well, like they're gonna hear it, they're gonna listen, they're gonna want it. You know?
Yeah, one way or another. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I guess labels have their agendas.
Totally. Oh man, that is a thing actually. I didn't realize until a couple of years of dealing with this how much the labels really influence what's going on in the scene. Because there's a lot of artists that are just fine doing whatever the label says. And the label says, oh, it needs to be more melodic. It needs to have female vocals in it. It needs to have these types of kicks in it. It needs to kind of have this kind of sound.
Yeah, and they're like the gatekeepers for the exposure on the internet and shit. And it's like, it seems like really political.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, not very artist friendly.
Totally, yeah. It's like kind of backwards actually, because the labels are there to kind of like serve the fans, people consuming it and listening to it. And same with the shows. Like the promoters can't do anything if there's no one coming to the show, and the people are coming to the show to see the artists. So there's this kind of symbiotic relationship between the promoter, the artist, and the fans, and then the same kind of thing for like the label, the artists, and the fans. And yeah, I've like even considered starting my own label. Like right before COVID happened, I was thinking about starting my own label, but I mean that's like a huge undertaking.
That sounds like a challenge.
Right? Yeah, it's a lot of work
from scratch.
Oh my god, yeah. I was like thinking of all the artwork and stuff, and yeah, then COVID happened, and I'm like, nah, I don't think so. But there's not really a place in America to release like super extreme dance music.
Well, that would be the challenge, is like the genre itself of like hard dance. Yeah. There's not like shows for that. Like unless it's like part of a bigger festival and they have a stage that does it, like okay, you might see some DJs come out and do it. But you'll never find like a whole set list of like hardcore in here.
Yeah, not really.
Especially in Arizona, in Phoenix, Arizona. Like,
yeah, it's pretty few and far between. My friend DJ Core, he's throwing a show at Endgame November. I think it's like the 20th or something. It's called Hardcore Havoc, and there's gonna be one stage that's like happy hardcore, so like kind of like fun, uplifting stuff, and then the outside stage is gonna be all hardcore. Actually, the whole night's gonna be hardcore. So
oh wow,
they're few and far between. They do happen.
So what's it called?
Hardcore Havoc.
Hardcore Havoc.
I want to say it's on the 20th, but yeah, it's at Endgame on Southern and Alma School. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well. Yeah, any of you Arizona people out there listening, Hardcore Havoc, look it up.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm actually not playing that one, but I will be there supporting all my friends playing, and yeah, it's going to be some extreme dance music. So if you want the happy stuff, they'll have that. If you want the angry stuff, they have that too.
It's the best mixture.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, exactly. Go outside, get devastated, go back inside, get lifted up.
Right.
Yeah, but no, you're right. As far as the states go, it's been on a really slow increase. It has been on the up and up over the last, 10 years or so. And hard dance as a whole has been getting more popular. It used to not be at big festivals like EDC. Now it is, thanks to BassCon and stuff. And it's COVID. It took a hit for sure. But I mean, the entire music industry did. Like the whole
Yeah,
like,
it's
entertainment industry.
unfortunate.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's pretty crazy how everything tanked for a little.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, and like entertainers, I mean, like sporting events came back before shows did, and like all the people in the Netherlands are pissed about it because they have like soccer games going down, but for some reason they like gave shows like music festivals the green light to go ahead. And then this happened like last month. They pulled the plug on them like days before the very first like show
Oh my
back was going to
God.
be. So like all these people were just like out of work, all this
Fuck,
money
dude.
wasted. Yeah, they were pissed, and they actually started like protesting in the streets. They brought like
Yeah, that's like
stage
millions
lights.
of dollars that
Right.
people can't have anymore. Like
Yeah,
that's
gone.
that's fucked
The
up.
fans are pissed. The artists are pissed. So they all protested. They got like these. They put a stage on a truck basically, and like went through the streets, and there was like thousands, like tens of thousands of people just like protesting, like not wearing masks, and just like fuck you, give us shows. But yeah, the entertainment industry got hit pretty hard, and at least here it's like slowly starting to come back. So. For hard dance, what does that mean? It kind of looks like it's picking up where it left off right before COVID happened, and yeah, it looks like it's on the up and up. But we'll see where it goes. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of like metal in the fact where like if you start or if you try to show somebody metal who's never really listened to harder music or anything,
Mm-hmm.
like they don't get it.
No, like
You got to drag somebody to a show. You got to
Totally.
like drag them to it and be like, "Here, sit here and like watch this band."
right.
And like it everybody that I've seen do that, they're like, "Oh, okay,
All right.
I see what this is now." Like
Totally.
even if they don't like it, at least they understand it.
Yeah, like here,
like-
have a couple beers, get in the mosh pit, like
Yeah, like
let the
it's-
anger out.
So like I feel like it'd be the same way for like hard dance. You know?
Totally.
So
It
it's
absolutely is.
It's got to be like an exponential growth. You got to have like little shows here and there, like Hardcore Havoc coming up, like
Yeah.
shit like that. You know, so you have these hardcore shows, and more people get exposed to it. But it's
Yeah.
going to be really slow growth, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and like yeah, the COVID thing definitely didn't help, but it is getting back to it. And it's funny you said you kind of got to like show someone like it is meant to be played live for sure. Like I said, it's all about the dance floor, completely, 100%. So, my wife's family they don't really know what hard dance is like at all.
But
So-
people don't.
yeah, most people don't. Yeah, exactly. So I invited them to Beyond Wonderland. They were like, I gave them like my full access passes and stuff. So
Nice.
gave them like the nice treatment and stuff. And they had no idea what to expect. They'd never even been to like a massive festival before, like let alone an EDM show. And yeah, they got their minds blown. They got it by the end of the weekend for sure, and that was really cool. Someone that does not listen to electronic music whatsoever, you go there and you see like thousands and thousands of people just dressed like freaks, just dancing like no one's watching. And
Right.
it's kind of beautiful, you know.
Yeah,
awesome.
it's nuts. Like I don't know. When you start zoning in on individuals, though, it gets really weird. Like if you see it as one big picture, one big crowd having
Totally.
fun, like yeah, sure.
yeah,
But, like you get focused on like single people. Like if you ever watch those compilations of like the
ravers just
like the ravers, but like even in the videos that are like cut all nicely and stuff, if you actually pick certain people out, like it's like Jesus, dude.
Oh yeah, because they're on all this like all these drugs and stuff, and their eyes are rolling back in their head, and they're making weird like mouth motions and stuff.
Yeah.
Wearing super crazy shit. But I mean, that's kind of like the idea, though. Is like you go there, no judgment. You know, everyone's there to like have a good time, and like no one's like hostile. I've been to some like I don't know, metal shows aren't too bad, but I have been to a couple like hardcore metal shows where it doesn't feel like super friendly there necessarily, but at raves it really is, and it's hard to even call them raves anymore because
Nobody's doing Molly at a metal show. I mean,
you'd be disappointed if you did Molly at a metal
yeah,
show.
you're drinking alcohol. It goes one
Yeah.
way or the other.
Totally.
You know, so you
Right.
got half people who are like all friendly and everybody's their brother. You know.
Yeah.
Then you got the other half. They're just there to fuck shit up.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Just
Think
there to
about their
rage.
ex and whatever. But
Dude, doing Molly at a metal show, that is a hilarious thought. Like, hey man, can I have a hug? You get punched in the mouth. Yeah,
I'd rather do mushrooms. Pretend
Right.
I'm a Viking.
All right, dude. Oh, that's epic. A Viking, dude. You got the beard and the hair for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
that was the point.
Get the battle axe going on. Yeah, that's epic. Oh, the Vikings.
Need to go back to an Amon Amarth show.
Oh man, I want to go to a metal show.
Yeah, it was
so
the last
fucking bad.
metal show I went to. Actually, it was way too fucking long ago. But it was actually I can't say that. I went to a local show recently.
Nice.
It was Condemned Till Dawn. They were headlining, and man, they're fucking good live. They're a really good local band. They need more attention for sure.
Dope.
But they kind of do like they went out to Texas, so they do like little mini tours sometimes.
Nice.
They'll go to
Like the
Texas and
Southwest.
California, and
Yeah.
they'll go out and stuff. They're really trying to get their name out there.
Yeah,
So,
doing the
but
grind.
they deserve it, man. They work
Sick.
hard and they're good.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it. What genre are they?
But like death metal,
Oh, I love death
like
metal.
death metal. They use like the backing tracks with like strings and stuff, so
Oh,
it's kind of
sick.
like
symphonic.
really melodic, like death metal. But
Sick.
yeah, it's pretty aggressive, like fast,
Yes.
aggressive too. So it's
love
really
that.
good.
Dude, it's been way too long since I've been to one.
Yeah, well,
trying to
that last show I
remember.
went to was actually Slayer's farewell tour.
Oh,
That's like the
lucky.
last big show I went to.
I was about to go
So
to that.
it was
I didn't
Slayer, Amon Amarth. Shoot, who else was there? It was so long ago. It's like before COVID happened.
Yeah,
Like right
pre-COVID.
before it.
It seems like a different life, almost like
Yeah,
before
it's-
COVID.
I
But
fucked up my shoulder permanently.
ooh,
Like
nice.
moshing too hard at
I know that game.
28. It's not good for me.
Not a good idea, right,
I
dude?
gotta give that up at some point.
Yeah,
But-
I think the last metal show I went to was a cattle decapitation show at Club Red, and I didn't fuck up my shoulder, but I put my vape in like my jacket pocket, and I got in the mosh pit for like 2 minutes the whole night, and it just like flew out of my pocket, and I lost like my $200 rig. So now I just have like a
Aw.
shitty little vape. Yeah, I think the next one I'm going to though is Suicide Silence is coming to town. They'll be at the press room December 12th, I think. It's on a Sunday, so that's gonna be sick. I fucking love Suicide Silence.
Yeah, they're pretty unique.
Yeah, totally. It's a bummer Mitch died because he was my favorite vocalist, but I forget what the new guy's name is. I even forget what band he's from. I just see all the memes about like tee the vocals aren't what they thought it would be. Yeah, but
I
it's
don't
still
know.
gonna be sick. Yeah.
Well, that sounds good, man.
yeah.
Well, it's been good talking to you.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah,
been a
thanks for having me again.
Nice, good conversation. Went over a lot of random shit.
Yeah, a whole bunch of random shit, but I mean, it's all like focused around, extreme music, which is the best.
Yeah, I can't get enough of it, man.
Yeah, totally.
I've been listening to hardcore constantly, like lately. I listen to it while I'm driving. It's probably a bad idea, but super fast, hard dance, like while I'm
Sick.
driving. Kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
forget where the cars are.
Yeah, you're going like way too fast. Yeah, like 25 miles over. Yeah, for hardcore, I know we're wrapping up, but if you're like wanting to check out some hardcore artists, Cryogenic. The really extreme stuff is called Uptempo. Cryogenic is really sick. I think this guy's name is Cyborg, who's really sick. And two of my friends here in Arizona do hardcore, and they're actually releasing on some pretty solid labels. Sythis, Sythys, and then Core, Kore. Both of them are solid,
Nice.
local artists. But yeah, Spotify that shit. Let that algorithm kick in, and like you'll be finding some dope stuff. So
Sweet. And I'll post your Spotify link in the YouTube description.
epic. I
So
appreciate
it'll
that.
be there.
Oh fuck yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me, Spencer. It's
Yeah,
a
man.
good time talking. I
It's
love
awesome.
this beautiful studio. Let's go check out our tour of the rest of the place before I go.
Maybe I'll invite you back to do a session or something
I
here.
would love that, dude. That'd be epic. Maybe a live stream or some shit. Who knows?
Sweet.
Awesome.
All right, man.
All right, cool. Nice, dude. That was fun, man.